This is a story that was supposed to be all about joy, about celebration, but instead, a dream honeymoon in a beautiful paradise was shattered by a calculated act of terror. It's a story that turned a deeply personal tragedy into a global headline. Let's explore what happened on that absolutely fateful day. This sentence, wow, it just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the brutal randomness of it all, how a moment of pure happiness can be just violently and completely destroyed in an instant. And here you can see the two completely clashing realities of the story. On one side, you have the dream, an incredible safari adventure, celebrating the start of a new life. And then on the other side, the horrific truth, a violent, targeted ambush that brought that dream to the most brutal end imaginable. So to really understand what happened, we need to go to the location. It's a place known for its stunning natural beauty, but on this day, it became the backdrop for a truly unimaginable tragedy. Okay, so here are the core facts. The date was October 17th, 2023. The victims were a newly married couple, Celia and David Barlow, and their dedicated local guide, Eric Alyai. And what happened? A brutal ambush inside Uganda's famous Queen Elizabeth National Park. But these were so much more than just names in a news report. To really feel the weight of this loss, we have to know who these people were. First, there was David Barlow. He was a successful 50-year-old businessman from Berkshire in the UK. He was running the family timber business, and he was also the chair of his local parish council. By all accounts, a true pillar of his community, just a deeply respected and loved guy. And his new wife, Celia, was 51 years old. She was a South African mother of 3, and friends described her as having a heart just full of adventure. She loved the outdoors, she loved wildlife, which makes a safari, the absolute perfect honeymoon for her. And sharing this experience with them was their guide, Eric Alyai. He was a seasoned pro, an expert who was passionate about his country and just loved sharing its beauty with the world. His life was also senselessly taken in the attack. So how did this horrific event actually unfold? Let's now look at the details of the attack itself and the group that took responsibility. The attack was incredibly swift and savage. As their safari vehicle was driving down a remote road right around dusk, gunmen just opened fire at close range. After they killed all 3 of them, the attackers set the vehicle on fire. And there was no mystery about who did it. The group responsible proudly claimed the attack online almost immediately. So who was this group? They're called the Allied Democratic Forces, or ADF for short. Now, they're a Ugandan rebel group with a long and violent history, and they're now based over the border in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And here's the key part. In 2019, they pledged allegiance to ISIS. That really changed the game, escalating their threat and showing how these local conflicts can get tangled up with global terror networks. You just knew that an attack this brazen, especially targeting foreign tourists, was not going to go unanswered. It triggered an immediate and absolutely massive international manhunt. Now, what's really striking when you look at this timeline is just how quickly things moved. The attack happens on October 17th. Just 2 weeks later, on Halloween of all days, the alleged mastermind is captured. And from there, you can see this steady march through the legal system, leading right up to the confirmation of charges for a full trial. So that capture of the key suspect was a huge breakthrough in the case, and it was all built around one crucial thing, a confession. And right here is the motive. This is the why. During his interrogation, the suspect, a mid-level ADF commander named Abdul Rashid Kyoto, confessed everything. He said the attack on these tourists was direct retaliation for the military pressure Ugandan forces were putting on his group. It wasn't random. It was a calculated act of revenge. And the charges he's facing, they are extensive and they're severe. We're not just talking about 3 counts of murder. They also include terrorism for the attack itself, aggravated robbery, and of course, the foundational charge of just belonging to a terrorist organization in the first place. The legal stakes here could not be higher. This case is being handled by Uganda's Special International Crimes Division, and they've found substantial grounds to move forward. That's a really high legal bar. A conviction could mean life in prison, or even the death penalty. As of late 2025, the full trial is still pending. And the prosecution's case looks incredibly strong. They've gathered over 130 exhibits. We're talking about a mountain of evidence here. Everything from ballistics reports that match the weapons to mobile data that tracks movements. It is a powerful arsenal they're bringing to trial. And so, That leaves us with this one final question. A trial is coming, and justice is being pursued. But for the grieving families of David, Celia, and Eric, families spread across 3 different continents, can any legal outcome, any verdict, truly bring closure to such a senseless and devastating loss?